So let us go with today with fiqh we say سؤال we say ما بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ما أقسام المياه ما أقسام المياه ما أقسام المياه means what are the types of water. We say جواب, this is سؤال. جواب, we say right here. We say one. الماء الذي وقعت Understand? And what with Tawheed, where did we stop? Who's going to help me with Tawheed? Where did we stop?
Got you. Got it?
We talked about the
Oh yeah, right.
we talked about متى ولد
Tawheed.
النبي
Tawheed.
توحيد
نقول في التوحيد بتصير.
بيصير يا
أنت فنان. ما الدليل أنه we talked about Islam.
Yeah.
Can you read it? What is it?
Okay. ما ربك؟ ربي الله. What's the Lord? My Lord is
بما
Allah.
عرفت ربك فقدام.
بما عرفت ربك
في آياته ومخلوقاته.
Yep.
اذكر آيتين من آيات الله ما الدليل على ذلك. اذكر مخلوقين من مخلوقات الله ما الدليل على ذلك. Then
Yep, something like that. Like we finished that one and we stopped.
we stopped.
Yep, after we finished that.
So then we
talked
need to.
about Arkan al-Islam.
Arkan al-Islam, yep.
Yeah?
We said we defined what is Islam is. Then we talked
Yes.
about Ma'arifah.
Where are we? You don't have that?
No, I have no picture. I couldn't
That
finish
is
it.
why I refuse picture.
Let me
That is
put,
why I refuse picture.
yeah, let me.
We have to write it. I have a reason of doing this in the beginning.
No,
Well-
I missed it. I missed it. I couldn't follow that.
Very good excuse for a good student. So we went with Mal Islam. Ma Dinuka, right?
Yeah.
And we say
Uh,
Dini al Islam.
Yeah.
My deen is Islam. And then we say Mal Islam.
Yeah.
And what is Islam?
هو الاستسلام لله بالتوحيد والانقياد له بالطاعة والبراءة من الشرك وأهله.
What does it mean?
It is to submit to Allah, to Allah alone through
Monotheism.
monotheism, Tawheed.
And full submission to
Yeah,
him.
to him, distance from
And
shirk
that full obedience to him. وَالْإِنْقِيَادُ لَهُ بِالطَّاعَةِ.
to avoid shirk in the life.
And hates people. And
Yeah.
people who are
Yeah.
practicing shirk.
And then we talked about ما أركانه. What is أركان
Yes,
الإسلام?
yes, yes.
Pillars of Islam. أركانه خمسة.
Now, so we mentioned the pillars of Islam.
Yeah.
Shahadatu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadun.
عبده ورسوله.
So it cannot be anna Muhammadun
أن محمد
wa anna Muhammadan.
محمدا.
Because inna and anna are known as harfay at-tawkid wa nasb. Yani they also emphasize, but at the end of a word that comes after it, it should have fatha. Inna allaha, anna allaha. Okay, inna and anna. Okay, wa anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. And then
إقام الصلاة.
إقام الصلاة وإيتاء الزكاة
Yeah.
صوم رمضان.
وحج
We stopped
البيت.
there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, brother has to take notes. And number 5 was what?
حج البيت.
No, we say Hijjul Bayti.
حج البيت.
Hijju, you need to be. It's okay. You will transfer that. Assalamu alaikum. It's okay. Leave the phone. It's okay. Hijjul Bayti man istata'a ilayhi sabila. وحج البيت comes in hadith. Huh? وحج البيت is Hijjul. Yeah, so Fatha Kasra matters a lot. So here we want to go with Ma Maratibul Islam. Maratibul ما مراتب الإسلام؟ ما مراتب الإسلام؟ ما مراتب الإسلام وما هي؟ ما مراتب الإسلام وما هي? We say what are the levels of Islam. ما مراتب الإسلام؟ أركان الإسلام. الإسلام الإيمان التوحيد say and then E and here we say الإحسان. Where did we stop with the hadith? How many hadith do we have? Do you write the numbers?
One.
Huh?
We talked about our attention.
Only?
Yeah, we didn't finish that too.
Huh?
We didn't finish the whole thing.
Yes, but we said we want to stop there for now. There is a reason. There is grade 1, 2. Right?
Yeah.
That is why there is textbook 1, textbook 2. So we finished with that, right? The second hadith we want to talk about
Yeah.
Where are we now? Bismillah. Ready? So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. What is the day today? 29. We have fiqh, we have Tawheed, and we have al-Hadith. We have to push it, inshallah. We want to start here. Where did we stop with fiqh? We stop at fiqh. بماذا تكون
طهارة الحدث.
بماذا تكون طهارة الحدث. Make sure that you read it right, because our method are almost 7 of learning. If somebody asks you what method are you using, please keep this in mind. 1, we said reading, right? 2, writing. 3, explaining the meaning. Explaining the meaning. 4, understanding. Okay. We say questions and understanding. Number 5. Assalamu alaikum. كيف حالكم؟ Then we say memorizing. If you can write this, I will be so happy what I'm writing. Number 6 is applying. Applying. Okay. That is deeds. And number 7 is conveying or teaching. This is the method that we are following. Here, you need to know the method that we are following as we are learning. Are we here just to learn and then we keep it for ourselves? And so, first is reading. Okay, both of us. I'm reading, you're reading. 2 is writing. That is why I'm writing. You have to write. And then explaining the meaning. Right? And then we say questions and understanding, or at least understanding, if you don't have any question. If you don't understand, ask. And then number 5 is you need to at least memorize it, both hadith and the meaning. And then applying, which means acting upon it. And then you are left with the best of you, خيركم أن تعلم القرآن وعلمه. You have to be a teacher of that particular. This will make you to grow. If you want to understand something, teach it. If you want to understand it better, teach it. Be a teacher. So we are here. We say how is purity from al-hadath attained, right? We say بالماء. We say بالوضوء أو الغسل أو التيمم. Right. If you want to, because you have hadath, okay? Either you have to perform wudu, or you have to perform what? If you're in a state of janaba, you have to perform ghusl, or in the absence of water for wudu and ghusl, what do? At-tayammum, right? A dry ablution. Today we have a very unique, and many people don't have this knowledge. We say ma aqsamul miyahi. Can we say that?
ما أقسام المياه.
ما أقسام المياه.
ما أقسام المياه.
We say how is يعني purity from al-hadath attained. We say with water, يعني for wudu and or tayammum, right? And then we spoke about wasail, methods of removing the impurities. Remember the methods.
Yeah.
We say the first one is
water.
Al-ma'u or Al-turabu, the earth, or no, Al-hajaru or Al-dabghu, these are procedures and processes. Today we are talking about ma aqsamul miyahi. Al-miyah in Arabic, al-ma is water, but you can also say miyah. Right? Miyah means like, miyah also refers to water. Today you may say waters. I don't know if that else exists in Islam. Water is water, right? So, ma aqsamul miyah, what are the types of water? Aqsam means types. Ma means what, and al-miyah is water, right? What are the types of water? It's very important to know the types of water. Can we say ma aqsamul miyahi?
Ma aqsamul miyah.
It's enough also to say ma aqsamul miyah, right? Nature of Arabic. If there is fatha at the end or kasr or dhamma, you stopped on you assume that you silence it, or you assume that there is sukun. Ma aqsamul miyahi.
Ma aqsamul miyahi.
What are the types of water?
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 أقسامها أربعة وهي.
أقسامها أربعة وهي.
You know what arba is, right? واحد
Four.
اثنين
ثلاثة.
ثلاثة
أربعة.
أربعة
خمسة.
خمسة
ستة.
ستة سبعة ثمانية تسعة عشرة أربعة. ما أقسام المياه؟ أقسامها أربعة وهي. Can we say أقسامها?
أقسامها أربعة وهي.
We say there are how many types?
Four.
There are four. There are four types of water. We are dealing with types of water today. أقسام المياه. Can we say ما أقسام المياه؟
ما أقسام المياه.
أقسامها أربعة.
أقسامها أربعة.
وهي, who knows the meaning of وهي?
Just maybe? Yeah.
And they are, okay? And they are like, so this just came to explain further. It's like the following are they, okay? Or they are. وهي, they are. Those four types. So أقسامها أربعة. There are four types of water. The first one, say الماء المطلق.
الماء المطلق.
الماء المطلق.
الماء المطلق.
الماء المطلق.
الماء المطلق.
The second one, الماء المستعمل.
الماء المستعمل.
الماء المستعمل.
الماء المستعمل.
الماء المستعمل.
الماء المستعمل.
The third one is الماء الذي خالطه طاهر.
خالطه طاهر.
الماء الذي خالطه طاهر.
الماء الذي خالطه طاهر.
الماء الذي خالطه طاهر.
الماء الذي خالطه طاهر.
And the fourth one is الماء الذي
وقعته
النجاسة.
النجاسة.
الماء الذي وقعته النجاسة. الماء الذي وقعته النجاسة.
الماء الذي وقعته النجاسة.
الماء الذي وقعته النجاسة.
الماء الذي وقعته النجاسة.
ما أقسام المياه؟
ما أقسام المياه.
What are the types of water?
What are the types of water?
أقسامها أربعة وهي.
أقسامها أربعة وهي.
الماء المطلق.
الماء المطلق.
الماء المطلق means absolute water.
Absolute water.
Absolute water. It's pure. It's pure. For example, rainwater. Absolute. Yani ocean.
What about like the one that falls off the roof? Is that pure?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Rainwater. Think about snow. Think about hail. Think about water that gushes from a stream. Stream water. It gushes from the earth, from the ground. well water when you dig it, right?
Yeah.
We will come to that. Don't give those examples. Just let us go with absolute water. It's a pure water. That is another. So that is the first word type. We will come to one good thing with fiqh. When you read this and you read the second one explains this part. You remember where we started? Are we good? So we said an absolute what? Pure water. The second one is, so this is called, say, al-ma'ul mutlaq.
Al-ma'ul mutlaq.
Absolute water, right?
Yeah.
Absolute, pure. And then the second one is al-ma'ul musta'mal.
Al-ma'ul musta'mal.
Used water. Used.
What?
Just used water.
Yeah.
An example. You can perform wudu when there were no taps. An example. When there were no taps. How are we performing wudu in the villages? We had the, how do you call it? We call it ibrik. Call it birika. I don't know how you call it. Right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
But any container. Let us go with any container. So then we used to pour water and it's still happening until tomorrow, right? Even in our bathrooms here, it's still happening. If you don't want to use that, the same container that we are using with how do you call it? Yes. You only use it to pour water. You hold it here and then it has what?
Sticky nose.
A sticky nose, that one. So this one was more modernized. Like it, and of course it's old, but we found it. But take any container, for example. If you don't pour water, do you know that you are allowed that you can wash your hand outside and then you can perform wudu from inside the container? You know that?
Which container? Like
any container, it can be a container. It can be a container, small container.
okay.
As soon as yes, you can do that. Right?
Yeah.
Because your body is not najis. So the fact that you are taking water and you are taking, from here again, it has already been used. Can somebody else use that water? Like your wife or your son? Can somebody else use it?
I don't think so.
We will come to that. So that is why you need to know types of water. Because that water by itself is not najis.
Oh, then anybody can use it.
Then not only that, there is also another word, subhanallah. People are talking about, brother, you need to understand other branches of knowledge before you open your mouth big. People are muting fiqh. How are you gonna lead your life? How are you gonna worship Allah without fiqh? Do you understand? How are you gonna have deep understanding of something like what? Because to you, if you just say, oh, this water is either pure or not, no. There's much into it. Okay, so we say al-ma'ul mutlaq.
Al-ma'ul mutlaq.
This is absolute water, right? And then let us go to al-ma'ul musta'mal.
Al-ma'ul musta'mal.
Anything musta'mal means used, right? This is a used what?
Water.
Used water. Number 3, say al-ma'ul ladhi khalatahu tahirun.
Al-ma'ul ladhi khalatahu tahirun.
What is this? Water that is mixed with
Pure substance.
pure substance. A pure substance. What I say, I think about the closest example I can give you is if there is a tree, right? Tree, and there is water under it. What is going to fall on this? Branches and it. That water, is it pure or not?
It's pure. For sure.
It's a mix, but
It's off of like human's reach. You can't touch it.
Tayyib.
No way.
You have water. You take water and you put on your stove. You want to cook. And then you put milk. And then you put sugar.
Come on, no.
But it's still what? Water mixed with? Because sugar is pure.
Yeah.
Milk is pure. I'm giving you those examples. You need to know them. Soda, juice, and all this. These are beverages. They are water, right? But can you use them for purification? That is fiqh now. Yes. Tea, oh, brother, you don't do that. Yes, people are saying you don't do that to respect food. But what about?
to remove najis?
Yes, when it comes to rulings. So we are talking about rulings here. Can it? So we say that by itself is pure, but you cannot use it to purify.
Okay. خالطه means mix.
Yes. That is where al-ikhtilat comes from. Ikhtilat, haram, right? Free mixing of men and women. Ikhtilat, khalata. Yukhalit. Right? So you need to understand, this is learning. Somebody who learns, who knows something, and somebody who doesn't know, are not equal.
So
we there?
if there is no water in area, you're going to use it or not?
Still, you cannot use this one. Especially when it comes to mixing it with the food. You cannot. But there is something that if it's mixed with, you can use.
Like leaves.
Leaves, for example, a perfume.
Maybe not change color.
Perfume is sprayed in it, yes.
Or it smells.
That is why I said when you learn fiqh, it goes to yani the second part of it that comes explains the first part. So we will come to yes, when color changes, when when taste changes, and also when smell changes. What happens to that word? So number 4 say al-ma'u alladhi
الماء الذي
وقعته النجاسة.
وقعته النجاسة.
الماء الذي وقعته النجاسة.
الماء الذي وقعته النجاسة.
الماء الذي وقعته النجاسة.
الماء الذي وقعته النجاسة.
So this is water that is contaminated with an impure substance. Water which is contaminated with an
You
impure.
can't use that.
You can't use that, but you can also use it. It depends. If it إذا بلغ الماء قلتان, there is what is called قلتين. There is an amount of water that najis does not affect.
So like ocean, that's not.
Ocean, there is just an amount of water, like back at home again, or if you go to other places, you found that at the masjid there was a well, okay, and so they were drawing water from the well and then pouring in a bigger water. You remember that?
Yeah.
In Masai. And then either people were taking water in those containers, small containers, or then they made it small taps. You remember that?
Have you seen that? Like people, like so, in certain masjids there is like not big, but like a small well, like not wells, but like a small little container. They build them,
Yes.
like they put water in it. Some people think it's good to just use their water to like take the water out of the thing and make wudu. I mean, no, it's like it's not big enough to be like not impurified. Like not.
It has to be too like.
But this is what we're gonna understand with fiqh, and that is why. Listen to me. Fiqh. What is fiqh? Mal fiqh. Go back to al fiqh. Go back to al fiqh. Mal fiqh.
هو العلم بالأحكام الشرعية.
هو العلم بالأحكام الشرعية.
عن أدلتها.
عن أدلتها التفصيلية بالاستدلال. What does it mean?
It is to infer the rulings of Sharia.
What is the meaning of to infer?
To
understand the rulings of Sharia
from their detailed evidence by way
from the detailed evidence by
way of evidence.
Like you need to memorize that English. Didn't come to teach you English here. That is big. Just having that understanding of fiqh, then you understand. Now you find the people like that scenario. Look at this couch where Brother Hussein is. You know, if they dig something like that, or if they build it on a wall, something like this, of this size, just this one,
yep,
right? And then there is what I need. When you come and fault these people that they are doing wrong, I will say they may not be decent enough because some people are touching their nose and what, to put their hands in. But they are not doing wrong to make water to be filthy, najis.
Yeah, they already like they are non-najis already.
You understand? But everybody coming in, I will tell them, please. Somebody touch whatever he touched and then he has to put his. Lakin is that water najis? What makes it najis? So there must be a proof that, number one, what is the amount of that water? Did it? We will come to what is kullatan. You understand what is kullatain and all this. And so there is too much into things with knowledge, with deep knowledge. You will not be judgmental unless you have a proof bil istidlal. And adillatiha tafsiliyya bil istidlal. That is why you need to know what is fiqh. And so when you go down, wallahi, it starts opening you up. So you may advise people that this is not the best way of doing it. But if somebody does it, you're not going to say rule that water is najis, pour the whole water. Because did it reach the amount that qualifies that water either to be, not to be pure, or even after somebody has put his hand in it, or after somebody has washed his face and in it. So it's very, very important to understand this. So these are 4 types of water, right? We will go to the details, inshallah. So let us read it again. Ma aqsamul miyahi.
Ma aqsamul miyahi.
What are the types of water?
What are the types of water?
أقسامها أربعة وهي
أقسامها أربعة وهي
الأول
الماء
المطلق.
الماء المطلق.
That is an absolute water, right? The second one, الماء المستعمل.
الماء المستعمل.
Used water, right? Then الماء الذي خالطه طاهر.
الماء الذي خالطه طاهر.
Water which is mixed with a pure substance. And then number 4, الماء الذي وقعته النجاسة.
الماء الذي وقعته النجاسة.
What is that?
What is that? It's contaminated with
التوحيد.
التوحيد.
We stopped at ما دينك. ما? What is your
deen?
What is your deen, right?
Islam.
And what did we say about ma dinuk?
Deen is Islam.
Then we say mal.
Islam.
Can we go mal Islam, right?
Yeah.
What did we say about that?
والاستسلام لله بالتوحيد والانقياد له بالطاعة والبراءة.
Student, I'm listening to you.
Okay, go ahead.
We say mal Islam. Mal Islam. What is Islam? Some people are misrepresenting Islam by saying Islam just means peace. You cannot confine Islam in peace. What about justice? What about kindness? What about generosity? So Islam provides peace.
Yep.
Right? You acquire peace in this world and tomorrow by submitting to Allah. Say هو الاستسلام هو الاستسلام لله بالتوحيد والانقياد له بالطاعة والبراءة من الشرك وأهله. Does that make sense?
وأهل means it's people.
It's people.
Okay.
And who is to submit to Allah alone through
براءته.
yes, to disassociate. البراءة براءة من الله ورسوله. So هو الاستسلام لله بالتوحيد is to submit to Allah alone through monotheism, التوحيد. والانقياد له بالطاعة and full submission, يعني full obedience to him. Okay? والبراءة من الشرك وأهله, and disassociating from shirk and its people. What else came after that? So we discuss Arkanul Islam. We say Ma Arkanu. What are the pillars of Islam, right? And we say Arkanu Khamsatun, there are 5. Shahadatu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, Iqamu Salah, Ita'u Zakah, wa Sawmu Ramadan, wa Hajjul Bayt comes in hadith. Watch your mouth, right? If I were in Africa, there are no lights here, Hussein. The way you make a mistake. Yeah, sorry. Sorry. Sorry, if I were in Africa, ya Allah. Rasul was squeezed. Iqra. Now, so we are there, right?
Yeah.
So maratib is very, very important. So now today we are going to maratibul Islam.
Maratibul Islam.
Subhanallah, look at how knowledge goes. maratibul Islam.
Maratibul Islam.
Maratibul Islam.
Maratibul Islam.
What are the levels of Islam?
What are the
Levels of Islam. There are levels.
ما هي
ما هي مراتب
الإسلام
let's say ما مراتب الإسلام.
وما هي
Can we say ما مراتب الإسلام وما هي؟
ما مراتب الإسلام وما هي
ما مراتب الإسلام وما هي؟
ما مراتب الإسلام وما هي
ما مراتب الإسلام وما هي؟
ما مراتب الإسلام وما هي
What are the levels of Islam? And of course, what are they, right?
Yeah.
So, وما هي. So we say there are three. There are three levels of Al-Islam. When you talk about Islam in general, wallahi, this is very important even for you regarding your relationship with Allah. Because some people say, oh, I'm a Muslim. Leave me alone. Yes, I'm a Muslim. We say, are you a Muslim by choice or by chance? Allah. Are you a Muslim by?
choice or chance.
By chance you are born a Muslim and you care nothing about Al-Islam. You care nothing about your relationship with Allah. Then you remain, I'm a believer, finish. But where is the misdaq? Where is the proof of your Islam? So let us go here. ما مراتب الإسلام
ما مراتب الإسلام
وما هي
وما هي
What are the
Levels of Islam.
levels of Islam, right? The first one is Al-Islamu.
الإسلام
The second one is Al-Imanu.
الإيمان
And the third one is Al-Ihsanu.
الإحسان.
Those are three levels of Islam.
So we already talked about Islam, right?
We are Muslims. We are Muslims. I always tell people that is a gift from Allah. He guided you to Al-Islam. But Al-Iman is a responsibility. Al-Iman is a responsibility. And Al-Ihsan is how higher you want to go. Al-Islam is a general Islam. هو الاستسلام لله بالتوحيد والانقياد له بالطاعة والبراءة من الشرك وأهله. You are a Muslim, you are born a Muslim. So, it is called the first level of Iman, the first level, Al-Islam. I'm a Muslim. Lakin in many times and in many places in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls us, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu. Allah wants you to be a mu'min. The difference here is that في Surah Al-Hujurat, chapter 49, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that there is a tribe or a clan that reverted to Islam. They became Muslims. And after a few days, okay, not long after that, they came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and saying, Ya Rasulullah, we are true believers. We are the only clan of tribe that reverted to Islam without, any war, without any, it came from our own heart. So we feel that we are true believers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala disapproved that. قالت الأعراب آمنا. Allah say, and Bedouin Arabs claims that they have believed, that they have iman now. قل لم تؤمنوا. Allah tells Rasul, tell them that you have not yet believed. You have not yet attained iman, even though you took shahada. ولكن قولوا أسلمنا. آمنا أسلمنا, right? But what you should say now, your level is Islam. What you should say clear now is that we have become Muslims. وَلَمَّا يَدْخُلِ الْإِيمَانِ فِي قُلُوبِكُمْ. Because iman has not yet entered into your hearts. So when you say I believe and I'm a Muslim, at a time they meet, but they also do what? Separate. When it comes to levels. Because Islam is general. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. We say he has believed in Allah, but he's a Muslim. But when it comes to iman, you have to do what? You have to bring it into your life. You have to practice it. That is why just a mere Muslim and a mu'min who is working on his Islam are different. Does it make sense? So we say al-Islamu, general, lakin al-Imanu, this is the fruits and the proof of, and then there's al-Ihsanu. These are the three levels of Islam. And we will come to each. I don't want to give a talk. Remember, we're in a class. I want you to write as we move on. We have already covered Mal Islam. We need to go to the meaning of Mal Iman, and also we need to go to Al Ihsan, right? Today, what we are learning is Maratibul Islam. There are 3 levels of Al Islam. وهي Al-Islamu, Al-Imanu, and Al-Ihsan. The knowledge is, there are levels, right? The last part is Al-Hadith. Can we read this? Al-Hadith.
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 3 subjects, brother. Al-Hadith.
Al-Hadith.
عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال.
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 قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم.
عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال.
عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم.
عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال.
عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال.
Narrated Abi Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, who said. Narrated. I'm listening to you. Narrated.
by Abi Hurairah.
Narrated Abi Hurairah.
Abi Hurairah radiyallahu anhu.
May Allah be pleased with him, right? Or may the pleasure of Allah be upon him, who said. Abu Hurairah said, right? قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه
قال
وسلم.
رسول الله
قال رسول الله
صلى الله عليه وسلم.
صلى الله عليه وسلم.
صلى الله عليه وسلم.
صلى الله عليه وسلم.
ومن سلك طريقا
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 يلتمس فيه علما
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 ومن سلك طريقا
ومن سلك طريقا
يلتمس فيه علما
يلتمس فيه علما
سهل الله له طريقا
سهل الله طريقا
سهل الله له
سهل الله له
سهل الله له
سهل الله له
طريقا إلى الجنة
طريقا إلى الجنة
طريقا إلى الجنة
طريقا إلى الجنة
ومن سلك طريقا
ومن سلك طريقا
يلتمس فيه علما
يلتمس فيه علما
سهل الله له
سهل الله له
طريقا إلى الجنة
طريقا إلى الجنة
ومن سلك طريقا
ومن سلك طريقا
يلتمس فيه علما
يلتمس فيه علما
سهل الله له طريقا
سهل الله له طريقا
إلى الجنة
إلى الجنة
رواه مسلم
رواه مسلم
الحديث
الحديث
عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال
عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال
narrated Abi Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, who said.
Narrated Abi Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him.
May Allah be pleased with him, who said.
May Allah be pleased.
May the pleasure of Allah be upon him, so we say, may Allah be pleased with him, right? Who said. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه
The
وسلم.
messenger of Allah, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said.
Messenger of Allah, may Allah be pleased with him, say.
The messenger of Allah, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, say.
Messenger of Allah, may Allah peace and blessings.
May peace and blessings of Allah, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, say. Upon him, say, right? What did he say? وَمَنْ سَلَكَ طَرِيقًا
ومن سلك طريقا
and whoever seeks a way
whoever seeks a way,
ومن سلك طريقا
ومن سلك طريقا
يلتمس فيه علما
يلتمس فيه علما
ومن سلك طريقا يلتمس فيه علما
ومن سلك طريقا يلتمس فيه
and
علما
whoever seeks a way to acquire knowledge.
whoever seeks
Salaka means following a way, seeking that way. Tariq. This is following. Tariq means a way. Yaltamisu means seeking.
knowledge.
Fihi yani means in that path. What are you seeking? Ilma. So yes, waman salaka tariqan. So whoever seeks a way, yaltamisu fihi ilma, to acquire knowledge,
Like we do.
like you are doing now. سهل الله له طريقا إلى الجنة. Allah will make easy. Sahal, sahala, yusahil. Allahumma sahil lana. Tasheel means easy, making easy. Sahal, yusr. Right? So Allah will make easy for him a way to Jannah. That is your reward. If you follow a path to knowledge, seeking knowledge. ومن سلك طريقا يلتمس فيه علما
ومن سلك طريقا يلتمس فيه علما
and whoever seeks a way to acquire knowledge,
whoever seeks a way to acquire knowledge,
right? سهل, what is his reward or her reward? سهل الله له طريقا إلى الجنة.
سهل الله له طريقا إلى الجنة.
Can we read it? What is the reward? Allah will make easy for him a way to Jannah. Allahu Akbar. Seeking knowledge is a way to
Jannah.
Allah. Seeking knowledge. Oh, brother, seek knowledge. Seek knowledge. This person wants good for you. He's telling you follow a way to
Jannah.
and not only a way, because a path to knowledge is not easy. A path to knowledge is not easy. Scholars of that time were not even easily receiving every student. They wanted a commitment. Maybe another time we'll talk about how Imam Shafi'i traveled to meet with Imam Malik, having memorized Al-Muwatta. Imam Shafi'i, Muhammad ibn Idris, because he was born in Gaza, then he moved to Mecca, and he started studying there until, Imam Shafi'i. And then he was advised to go to Imam Malik to study. Imam Malik was the Sheikh of Medina at that time. So Imam Shafi is alive, and also, remember, these are not Sahaba, right? It is said that the only tabi'i is Abu Hanifa. And Abu Hanifa was in Iraq those days. So if you can't imagine how Imam Shafi went, and how the story between him and Imam Malik, who was his teacher, when he went to memorize, to study Al-Muwatta, the book of hadith of Al-Muwatta. How he showed, I cannot receive you, until he had to prove himself to be ready to be committed to acquire knowledge. So it's a long path. Lakin Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes your way to Jannah easy, because it is a hard path. You should have been sleeping now after Fajr. Right? At least let me take it. And now for another, the sweetest nap. When you exhausted and doing homeworks and what the whole night, and you say, at least I've performed my Salatul Fajr. So now let me do what? Just 30 minutes, man. And then it goes for 2 hours. So we are done here, right? So we spoke about fiqh, and we discussed aqsamul miyah, and we say there are 4. One is ma'ul mutlaq, ma'ul musta'mal, ma'ul ladhi khalatahu tahirun, and then al-ma'ul ladhi waqa'atuhu an-najasa. We spoke about at-Tawheed was our second lesson for today. Maratibul Islam. What are they? Levels of Islam. At least I studied 4 types of water in fiqh. I studied what?
3 levels of Islam.
I studied 3 levels of Islam, which is al-Islam, al-Iman, and then when it comes to hadith, we added hadith of we say hadith of Abi Hurairah, and we say an Abi Hurairah رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ومن سلك طريقا يلتمس فيه علما سهل الله له طريقا إلى الجنة. This hadith is where? It's in the book of Muslim. Is not a Sahab. And hadith consists of 2 things. You remember?
Yep.
What is what and what? The
Sahih
hadith
and
itself consists of two things.
Sahih and
No. Hadith consists, the body of hadith itself consists of two things. The first one is,
Who narrated? And
we say chain of narration called
chain of narration.
isnad or sanad.
Sanad, yeah.
Okay?
Way.
When somebody talks about, yes, chain of narration until it reaches the Prophet. That knowledge is very important. Of Rijalul Hadith. And the second one is matnun, the text itself. Which means an Abi Hurairah radiyallahu anhu qal. Until here, we are dealing with
Sanad.
sanad.
Sanad, okay.
Isnad, right? Because who narrated this?
Abu Hurairah.
But think about Abu Hurairah yani also having a student, so it may come from Hussein to so and so, to so and so, to so and so, until it comes to Tabi'i, until it comes to Abu Hurairah. All that is called chain of narration until here.
Yeah.
And then we say, Qala Rasulullah.
Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Rasul has not said anything. If we stop here, Abu Hurairah said that the Prophet said. All this is called chain of narration. That is the first part of what body of hadith is made of. And then the real hadith, yani the second part of it is the text itself, what Rasul said. What did he say here? وَمَنْ سَلَكَ طَرِيقًا يَلْتَمِسُ فِيهِ عِلْمًا سَهَّلَ اللَّهُ لَهُ طَرِيقًا إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ. What was the first hadith? عن عمر بن الخطاب رضي الله عنه قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول. Until there, that is called isnad or sanad. Okay? What did Rasul say? إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ وَإِنَّمَا لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مَا نَوَى. Remember we said that there is a portion of that hadith.
Yeah.
And that hadith is found in which books of hadith? Bukhari and Muslim. Muttafaqun alayh. Anything muttafaqun alayh means agreed upon by Bukhari and Muslim that hadith is authentic. Jazakumullah khairan for today. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. La ilaha illa ant. Nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.